You are the expert. Correct me if my read on this is wrong. It feels like we went through a phase, a couple of years of, just astronomically low, historically low, silly talk. Never would have thought it would happen in a million years interest rates. Then we saw them rise kind of back to the normal-ish where we saw before the pandemic, sort of, upper fours, mid fours, a low five occasionally here and there, kind of where they had been in the past. And then this past week, after stabilizing for a while, we saw another jump. And the couple of times that I've looked, I've seen 6%, So clearly money's going to be a little bit more expensive. That's just par for the course. Is there any other ramifications with this? What's your read on this? How do we react?
Yeah, all I can say is, what a week. What a week. What a week.
Yeah.
Rates are definitely bouncing around, and it looks like we've settled in that 6-ish range pretty much for your conventional type of loans. FHA VA is still a little bit better, low to mid 5 range. So there's a little bit of a reprieve there for our veterans and our first time home buyers. A little bit less than that, but. Here's what I'm seeing at the conversations, I guess, that we're having with, potential home buyers. And look, yes, you miss the all-time low rates, okay? But, guys, that's rearview mirror stuff. It's done. It's over. It's just we got to focus now on the question. The question is this: should I buy or should I wait until the rates drop? And, in my opinion, if you wait, you're probably never going to buy a home. And here's my reasoning, is those low rates were fake. They should have never, ever, ever been sub 3%. It just is. It was the government dumping money into the system to artificially create these sub-market rates. And, they called it quantitative easing. They had all these fancy names for it. Bottom line is they're just pumping billions of dollars in every single month, and that's what kept these rates so low for so long. And that's over for now. I don't know. Could it go back? I don't know. I can't predict those things. But here's what I know. Here's what I know is they are today. And I know we can't go backwards, so we just got to decide to move on. And could they come back down? Well, okay. I kind of hope they don't, truthfully, because it was fake kind of economics altogether. They were not letting the market really drive the system. And there's going to be some positive to this, I'm sure. And so the conversation we're having is, well, what can I do now? Not what you missed out on. Don't live in the past. And that's the easiest way to get frustrated for sure. And homeowners, you stay tuned as well, because definitely going to talk to you in just a few minutes about some ideas and things you might want to consider. But for those that are thinking about buying that first home or upgrading, maybe you're looking buying another one. That's something that we're having these conversations with, right here on the radio, in the office every day. But rates, I think what we're going to see, this increase, Keith, I think it's really going to be a great gift to our first-time home buyers. Probably in the next, it's not going to happen immediate, next 90 to 120 days, somewhere around there. I think once all that shock and awe and, the poor me's and the missed out, I'm whining is all over and that kind of stuff. And here's why I think that. Over the past 24 months, first-time home buyers have had absolutely almost no chance of buying a house in the Triad, like almost zero. And the reason is owners were demanding, or I should say the market was influencing such ridiculous, what we call due diligence fees here in North Carolina. First-time home buyers were out. They just weren't even in the ball game. You could not even get in consideration because we were having these due diligence fees. I'm talking on $200,000, $250,000, $300,000 homes, $20,000 non-refundable, $30,000 non-refundable, and we had multiple homes that demanded $50,000 non-refundable due diligence fees. And I don't know, when I was a first-time home buyer, Keith, I didn't have $50,000 just to hope and a prayer that I might, the house might be okay. And so first-time home buyers with, a 3 to 5% down payment, which is typically what we see, just had zero luck, absolutely no chance at all. And I think we're going to see that change, and I believe it's going to change, pretty quick. 90 to 120 days isn't that long. And so I know that we've got to get over the whole psychological mindset of this interest rate and, oh, my gosh, I missed the boat and all those things. But regardless of the rate, I mean, and let's just use 6%. Let's just say that's going to be the new norm, the new standard. Here's the thing. You're still saving 93%. It's still 93% less than renting because, remember, renting is 100% interest. 100% of your money is gone. There is no paying back of equity. There is no paying down toward the principal. There is no building, a future savings or future appreciation or future principal there. And so, there's almost no upside to renting, but there's definitely no upside to renting long term. Short term, you've heard me talk on the show before. Look, doing anything for the short term is great. I don't have a problem with anybody renting. I call it patience money. Hey, if you're going to do this for X amount of months until I can do Y, X, Y, Z, whatever it is, that's fine. But you don't want to be on a 25-year rental path. Still home ownership. At the end of the day, even if your home value never changes over the whole entire time you have the house, you're still paying down the principal. It's still forcing you to save money. So at the end of the day, it's just a really horrific savings account, but at least you're saving some money by paying down that principal, and that's not a bad thing. So, I just wouldn't get caught up too much in the whole interest rate thing. I think it's just like you just got to get over it. Whatever, we missed the boat, whatever you want to say. It's just called life, right, Keith? I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, but I think any home you own is better than 100% interest, which is 100% rent. And I think our first-time home buyers, these higher rates at the end of the day, I know they're going to be painful at first, but I think at least it's going to change, and you're going to be able to get an option to even be in contention of buying a house in the near future. And I think we'll see more homes available for you to do that. So, yeah, painful on paper, painful to look at what I could have been able to purchase, a year ago, and now with the interest rate, what I can buy now. But here's the thing: a year ago, you couldn't buy a house anyway because you never could get in consideration. So I think it's going to be a blessing in the future, Keith. That's my take on it.